Have you ever had that light bulb moment? That brilliant idea for a business, but then you just stop. You're not sure what the next step is, and the whole thing feels, well, impossible. I think we've all been there. But what if you had a clear, modern toolkit to take you from that first spark to a real, living business? That's exactly what we're going to walk through in this explainer.
You know, this quote from Einstein is perfect, because for decades, the advice for starting a business was madness. The idea was you'd lock yourself in a room for 6 months and write this massive 100-page business plan. You'd be doing all this guesswork, assuming you knew exactly what customers wanted without ever talking to them. It was a broken model that, more often than not, led to building something nobody actually needed.
So let's put these two ways of thinking side by side. The old way is static. It's all about the product, and it's based on a mountain of assumptions. The new way, what we call the lean method, flips that script entirely. It's dynamic, it puts the customer at the very heart of everything, and it's built on a loop of testing your ideas and learning from real feedback. It's about replacing I think with I know.
We've seen why the old way is broken. So what does the new way look like? Here's our game plan. We're going on a 4-step journey. We'll start with finding your idea, then figure out how to create real value, build a blueprint for the business, and finally, get out there and find your first customers. Let's dive in. Okay, step 1. It's all about finding a business idea. But listen, we're not just talking about any random idea that pops into your head. We're looking for an idea that's rooted in who you are, what you know, and a real problem that exists out in the world. This is the foundation for everything that comes next. So how do we find an idea like that? Well, our first tool is something called the CEPT Canvas. CEPT is an acronym. It stands for your skills and experience, the problems you see around you, and the trends that are shaping the world. Use the left side to brainstorm all of these opportunities, and then on the right, you connect the dots to come up with actual business ideas. It's a really simple but powerful way to find an idea that you are uniquely qualified to pursue. Let me give you a quick example. Let's say your skill is training people. You've noticed a problem. Lots of people need better soft skills, but booking physical venues for training is a huge pain and super expensive. At the same time, you see a trend. Online courses and YouTube classes are absolutely booming. You put it all together and bam, the idea, an affordable online course for soft skills. See how that works? You just connected what you're good at with a real market need. And this brings up a fundamental truth about customers, which we call the lazy user model. Look, when we're faced with a problem, we will almost always pick the solution that takes the least amount of effort. Think about sending money to family. You could drive to the bank, wait in line, fill out forms, or you could use a courier. But if you can just tap a few buttons on your phone and it's done, that's what you're going to choose. Your idea has to be that path of least resistance. So, you've got an idea that's designed to be the easy choice for the customer. But is it something they'll actually want and, pay for? That brings us right to step 2, creating real value. This is where we take your idea and shape it into something that solves a problem so well that customers can't imagine going back to the old way. This right here is the single biggest question every entrepreneur has to answer. It's the reason so many startups fail. They build something amazing, technologically brilliant, but it solves a problem nobody really has. So how do you avoid that trap? How do you make sure you're building the right thing? Well, we have another tool for that. It's called the Value Proposition Canvas. Just think of it as a matchmaking map. On one side, you've got the customer profile, where you map out their world. On the other side, you have the value map, where you design how your product is going to fit perfectly into that world. The whole point is to make these two sides fit together like puzzle pieces. And here's the key. We start entirely with the customer. Just for a minute, forget about your product. Instead, focus on the jobs they're trying to get done in their lives. And this isn't just about functional tasks like mowing the lawn. It can be social, like trying to look good in front of friends, or emotional, like wanting to feel secure. It's about getting to the why behind their actions.
Okay, now for the interesting part, their pains. What are the things that frustrate them, the obstacles that get in their way while they're trying to get that job done? Before the mobile money service M-Pesa existed, the pains of sending money were huge. It was slow, it was risky, it was expensive. Finding these pains is like striking gold for an entrepreneur.
And on the flip side of pains, you have gains. These are the benefits and positive outcomes your customers are really hoping for. With money transfers, the gain was obvious. People wanted it to be cheap, instant, and super convenient. This is what their dream solution looks like. This is where your product comes in. You need to design features that are direct, pain relievers, and gain creators. Take Uber. It didn't just happen to be convenient. It was designed as a pain reliever. It eliminated the horrible pain of waiting for a cab you weren't sure would ever show up. And it was a gain creator. It gave you the gain of a reliable, convenient, and affordable ride right from your phone. And when you get that right, when your pain relievers and gain creators perfectly match your customers' pains and desired gains, that's when you achieve what we call customer product fit. That is the magic moment. It's the signal that you're no longer guessing. You've actually created something people truly want.
Okay, this is great. You have an idea that solves a real problem for a real customer. But a great product isn't a great business. Not yet. Now we need to ask, can this actually work as a business? Can it make money? That brings us to step 3, building your business blueprint.
I love this quote from Mike Tyson for entrepreneurs, because a business plan that you write in a vacuum is just a plan. The real test, the punch in the face, is what happens when that plan meets reality, when it meets the market. So what we need isn't a rigid, static plan, it's a dynamic blueprint that we can test and change on the fly.
And this is that blueprint. It's called the Business Model Canvas, and it is a total game changer. It lets you sketch out your entire business model on just one single page. It forces you to think about everything, from who your customers are and what value you provide, to how you reach them and how they pay you. It also forces you to face the hard numbers. What are your costs and what are your revenues? It's all there in one place.
At its heart, the Canvas really just helps you get crystal clear on the 4 most important questions any business has to answer. 1. Who are your customers? 2. What value are you creating for them? 3. How are you going to reach them? And 4, the big one, how are you going to make money? So you have your blueprint. You've mapped out your best guesses. Now comes the final and, honestly, the most important step of all. You've got to get out there. All of these canvases and plans are completely worthless if they stay on your desk. It's time to leave the building and talk to actual humans. Professor Steve Blank, the godfather of this whole movement, said it best. The #1 reason startups fail isn't because of bad technology or a weak team. It's because they burned through all their time and money building a beautiful product that, in the end, nobody wanted. The only way you can avoid that fate is to get out there and test your assumptions. And you do that with a process called customer development. It has 4 main stages. First is discovery, where your job is just to listen and learn about your customers' problems. Then comes validation, where you test if your solution actually solves that problem, usually with a very simple first version of your product. Once it's validated, you move to creation to build demand, and finally to building, where you scale the company. So let's do a quick final recap of this toolkit. Step 1, you use the CEPT canvas to find an idea that's uniquely yours. Step 2, you use the value proposition canvas to make sure that idea creates real value for customers. Step 3, you map out the entire business with the business model canvas. And step 4, you get out there and test it all using customer development. So there you have it, a complete, modern framework for taking an idea and turning it into reality. It's a method that favors learning over guessing and customers over spreadsheets. It's a powerful set of tools designed to give you the best possible shot at success. So the only question left to answer is, what problem will you solve first?